Hey guys, so I am doing a review for you because a few people asked me when I started using this little thing. Some people said, oh, can you do a review please, or just tell me how it is. And then I pretty extra, so instead of just saying, oh, this is how it was, I'm doing a YouTube video on it. So it is a menstrual cup. Now if you've ever used sanitary products, feminine sanitary products, then you will know there's quite a lot of options on the market. There's tampons, there's pads, and there is menstrual products. There's also those pants where you wear the whole pant, and I'm sure I will buy one of those at some point and do a review of that as well. But for now, let's stick to this. I got the Mooncup brand. It was the only one I'd kind of heard of, and if I'm going to stick it in my fufu, I want to know what I'm sticking in, so I thought I went for a branded one. But you don't have to. I mean, it's made of silicone. I feel like a lot of products, a lot of companies could make this. So yeah, no need to go for what I went for, but I am happy with what I have, and it is a Mooncup one. Right, what you do is when you have a little blood in your pants and you're like, it's the time of the month, what you do is you get this and you sterilize it. You put it in some water, in a pot, in some water, boil it for about 5 minutes, and then that is sterile. If you've had kids, you'll have done this with bottles and other such crap. So you will know how to sterilize this. If you haven't, follow the instructions. And then what you do is once it's clean, you wash your hands, you go somewhere private. I was doing this in front of my 1-year-old for the first time. There was a lot of pressure. He's just staring at me like, what are you doing? Yeah, I think I've scarred him. It's a good job kids can't remember as children. Now, what I do is you find a way to insert it. So this is not just gonna go up like that. I mean, in my comedy, I talk about having a big vagina, but no, not happening. Right, make it easier for yourself. So what you do is you push it in, and then you hold it like that. And you've made this into a pointy way, which helps insertion into the vagina. Some people do the C shape, but I mean, I can't do that one-handed. And every time I go to the bathroom and I want to change it, I don't want to have to use both hands. So I kind of go like this, push it down, take my finger out, and it works. And then you can put it in. You put it in and you leave it in for however long you want, probably max a day. When I went to work, I put it in the morning. I didn't want to change it at work. I didn't feel comfortable yet. Or I don't think I ever will. So the great thing is you put it in the morning, and I think I used it on one of my heavier days, and then I didn't change it all day, didn't clean it out, came home, did it once I came home, and it was full, lovely, but it wasn't like overflowing, so that's great, and I took it out and cleaned it. So my point is you can keep it in all day. You don't have to keep, but you can. I think at the beginning you will. You'll be like, oh, how much have I caught? And you'll be really disappointed because it's not a lot when it's in liquid form. It's like when you have a nosebleed and you think you've lost your entire system's worth of blood on a tissue. Turns out it's not quite that much at all. I have to tell you, I am not an eco warrior. And by that I mean, these are wonderful in terms of you're not having to use sanitary towels or tampons and throw them every, I don't know, a few hours every day, however often you need to change it. So you are saving a lot of waste. You're saving a lot of waste. And so you just use this one for one cycle, you sterilize it again, put it away, take it out for your next cycle. Now I read that this one lady used it for 12 years. Now I don't know how I feel about that, but each to their own. So there you go. You can do it for 12 years or you can do it for less, but it'll probably still be less wasteful than like tampons, things like that. Pros, I think I've probably talked about a lot of pros already. I really like mine. It's my friend. So it comes with a longer holding thing. This thing comes with a longer this thing, and that's probably because when you first put it in, you're like, it's going to get lost in there. Well, it definitely did with mine because I've had children and it's massive. It's like a cave. But For yourselves, if you are less vaginally massive, you wouldn't need this that long. And what they say is that you trim it to a better size that suits you, because you kind of don't want it hanging there and just kind of digging in, like reminding you it's there. So that's half. I trim that, and that's just enough for me to be able to grab it and pull it back out again, because I don't want it in there forever. I mean, that would be pretty good for like discharge, but I've heard that it shouldn't be used like that. That's another whole comedy about how these would be great for thong days, wouldn't they? Pros. What pros have I got? Right, so it's reusable. Woo! Definitely a big pro. No, wait. Back up. My point was, I'm not an eco warrior. You know, saying it reduces waste. My point is that I'm not like a massive eco warrior that's like vegan and the whole shebang. People can like it even if you're not that massive about saving the planet. I mean, I love the planet, don't get me wrong, but it's not the reason I chose it or tried it. But it's a bonus, right? Reusable. You save money because you're not buying. I mean, I can't remember the last time I bought tampons or pads. Probably 2 months ago, because I said I started this 2 months ago. Another pro. So you're on your period and you have your heavy days and you go to the toilet and you're like, oh my God, there's so much dry blood. I don't have to see dry blood anymore. And that's brilliant because it smells, it's uncomfortable. It's like being a baby again with a wet nappy. It's not cool. I mean, at the beginning, I still, like now I'm only 2 cycles in, I still wear a liner. And I think when you start out, you should definitely put a liner. And if you want to, and you're probably going, oh, well, that's not very planet friendly. Well, you can get like eco-friendly liners if you want. I mean, I'm not there yet, but maybe one day. So start off with liners. So just in case you don't insert it properly. But I haven't had any issues. Maybe just like, you know, maybe if I'm like doing yoga. No, I'm probably not doing yoga with this in, but anyway. No smell. Pro. No smell. Yay, no smell. And it's comfortable. I mean, it was weird because when you put it in like this and then you put it up and then it pops out again and there is a bit of a suction feeling, and then you pull down and it doesn't come out, and that means it's in properly. But it's a weird feeling. I've spoken to some people that are like, whoa, don't like the suction-y feeling. And then I've spoken to some people like myself. I spoke to myself and I told myself I quite like it, and the suction feeling doesn't bother me. You can wear it all day, so that's really cool, because sometimes with tampons and other things you can get something called toxic shock syndrome if you wear it too long. As far as I know, no issues like that with this. Another pro for me, the first couple of nights of my menstruation, I'm worried I'm going to leak in the bed, and I'm sure most women have at some point. I used to sometimes sleep with my hand underneath my bottom because I was so worried, which was really, really uncomfortable. Wasn't great. But with this, I don't need to. Like, I've used it for 10 days, 2 months, 2 lots of 5, say, no leaking and comfortable and not even worried. It's nice. You get a better sleep. It's not like, oh, menstruation's coming, I'm going to have a shit sleep. It's not like that. Right, cons. The biggest con is you have to get intimate with yourself. Now, it was a couple of midwives who I work with that said to me, oh, try it. And I'm like, okay. Didn't take much to convince me. Now, they're going to be pro it because they are doing vaginal examinations as a job. They get paid to put their hands up people's foo-foos. So they were going to be a bit quicker to get on with this. Whereas somebody who hasn't, it might be really tough to touch yourself. It's like that taboo of masturbating, I feel. Masturbate, it's great, feels good, and it's your body. You can do that, you're allowed. Whereas also with this, putting it up there, having to put your hand in, because this isn't going to be that far in. It's literally just a little bit in. Like, here's the outside, and then you've got to just... The biggest con is people getting over the fact that they're going to have to touch themselves, get to know themselves, and maybe get a bit of blood on their hands. Oh my God, if you've been a mum and you've had shit and vomit and wee and everything on your fingers, then, I mean, what's this? This is just, you know, your menstruation, it's just blood. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. When you take it out, when you go to the toilet, you take it out and you empty it into the toilet. And then what I do is I've got my sink next to it and I just rinse it. Now some people might be like, oh, you're rinsing your menstrual cup in your sink. Well, I don't remember the last time I ate my dinner from my sink, so I'm pretty okay with that, but some people might not be. And initially expensive, it was 25 quid, I think. Yes, pounds, I'm from England. Great British pounds of the Queen. So £25 might be expensive for you. I didn't think it was expensive for me because it pays off in the long run. And there are possibly cheaper alternatives, so that's completely cheaper. That I feel like that could be a con. It's all a con. No, it's not. It's good. It's really good. I hope that was helpful. Ask questions in the comments. Subscribe. Quick plug. I don't know. I hope you get on with it. Okay then. Anyway, bye.